This is Richard Byford. Welcome to my video. For more information on becoming a sponsor of my radio and TV shows, or to book me to speak at your next event, please see the contact information at the end of the video. Here are some of the nice things people have been saying. The following are some examples from my radio and TV show, In the Spotlight. Hi everyone, my name is Richard Byford, and I gotta ask you, do I look hot? I should. It's 105 degrees in this park while we're shooting this video. I spend a lot of my time going across the country speaking on how to produce green events and teaching people how to have a green lifestyle. One evening we took the cameras down onto the streets of Palm Springs at a village fest, and we asked one question. We thought we were going to get really crazy, laughable answers. Instead, we got really incredibly intelligent, sensible, well-informed answers. We called the movie Green Walking. Here's a sample. Hope you enjoy it. What does going green mean to you? Come on, this will be a lot of fun. Follow me.
What does going green mean to me? It means doing all that you possibly can to help the environment last as long as it possibly can in optimal condition.
Welcome to Byford on the Green. My name is Richard Byford, and this week we're going to sit down with Mr. Larry Fechter, who is the organizer of the photo contest Earth Through a Lens. That is a national photo contest to do with sustainability. We will get into all the details of the contest and how it all works in just a moment. But first, this video is very exciting because we're doing it in front of a live audience. We are at the Cathedral City High School in California, and we're in the digital department. And so anything could happen, folks. Stand by. A couple of points that you just brought up, they were rather interesting, because as I go across the country speaking to various organizations and people, I find that a lot of people would just rather America was back where it was 25 years ago. Right. Why is change so difficult in America?
I can't answer that question. I mean, change takes persistence. Change takes time. And I would hope, as we've seen what's happened in America, and let's perfect example, in the 70s, the Middle East crisis, President Carter brought forward some great plans, to move this country to be more independent from foreign oil, to conserve. And we really never made any progress once 1980 hit. Here in the city of Palm Springs is a perfect example. We actually had an energy czar in the late 70s with an energy plan to become one of the most energy efficient cities in the country in 1978, 32 years ago.
The radio interviews with Paul Anka and Julio Iglesias were fascinating. Take a listen. Oh, by the way, the full interviews can be heard on my website. I am sitting in the dressing room of Mr. Paul Anka here at Bally's in Las Vegas. I am sitting with a living legend. How does that make you feel, sir, when someone mentions that word connected with your name?
I don't know. It's something that I can't really relate to because of what I do each day and how I conduct my life and my business. I think there's a different kind of existence from the artist's point of view from within, and then obviously what the overview is or how people are looking at you and how they perceive you from the outside.
40 years. Do you think that there are artists around nowadays that will be able to have that longevity?
I don't know. It's a good question. Unfortunately, I think if you look around today, I mean, you don't have artists that can last a year. I mean, let alone a lifetime. I think it's a problem in today's business. There's no infrastructure to support it, and let alone, I think you will have some that emerge. I don't know who they are. It depends on how they conduct themselves and the integrity they keep with their work, and how the public perceives you. I've always tried to have the kind of relationship with my public that they feel they know me or there's a human being there as opposed to a star thing.
If you met an American man that works a 9-to-5 job on the street and he asked you to give him some advice on how to put romance into his relationship, what would you tell him?
To wake up 2 hours earlier, to do exercises, to go to work with a lot of strength and to think that he's going to be better every day and to growing up in his work first. That would be a great romance for him, to attract the others first. To go back home at 5 o'clock in the afternoon with 30 years old and to believe the next day is going to be better and to doesn't lose energy in anything else than he's growing up as a man, and after to romance. But first his own self, first to, like a woman, the same thing. It's not a question about, and I said that to the men, it's not to the women. I think then the most important thing for a man or for a woman is to strengthen himself and to be better first.
We have worked with a lot of celebrities over the years. Oh, there are so many stories to tell. To be out there in front of a live audience, there is no better feeling. As you can probably tell, I was born in England, and the lady outside just asked me when I left England, and I told her that I left England at a very early age when I realized I wasn't going to be king. And also the fact that England is 8 hours behind us. So you may not think some of the jokes I tell are funny now, but in 8 hours, you're going to be splitting your sides with laughter. Right? At a conference at UCLA, and they had 25 startup companies. A group of us had to vote on what was the most original idea that one of those startup companies had last year. And there were some pretty interesting ones, I've got to tell you. But the guy who won was 19 years old, and he had designed a takeout box. I know that's different to the containers you're talking about, but jogged my memory. It looked like a styrofoam takeout box. It was made out of mushroom roots and something else and something else. And you put your food in, you take it home. When you get home, take your food out, put it in the refrigerator, take the box and plant it in your garden, and it grows a tree. You'd be amazed what's out there, just no one takes notice of most of this stuff. I sat down to have a cup of coffee with a gentleman, and I said, what do you do? He said, well, I'm designing a mass transit system for the moon. My first question to him was, why? Which was not a surprising question. And he said, I want to show you something. And he got his book out and he showed me 2 photographs. One photograph was a painting that was painted in 1779. It showed a spaceship, shuttle-like vehicle, on a takeoff ramp, on a what do you call it? Lift-off ramp, ready to take off. The picture next to it was a picture of the shuttle that left a couple of days ago on the takeoff position on the ramp. You could hardly tell the difference between the two. And that picture was painted in 1779. His answer to me was, why I design now for the moon, if it would work on the moon, it would work in Los Angeles. Hey, there's some very strange stuff going on out there. But just think of the things that were in Star Trek. How many years ago? And now they're reality. We're all carrying little computers this size in our pockets. Somebody tell me a story. Service is the #1 most important thing that we all have to remember. I don't care if you're doing real estate. I don't care if you're booking parties, especially charity galas and that kind of stuff, where every penny counts. Service is the only thing that we have to offer anymore. Now, so the president of the company says to his administrative assistant, would you book the band for you know, for our conference, or the speaker, or whatever it is. She's never booked a band in her life. She has no, but she wants her job, so she has to do it. So she goes through the same thing as I've just said. She goes on the internet, she finds a band, she thinks it's pretty cool, she listens to the MP3s, she calls them, she books them, the rider comes, she doesn't know what to do with it, but the AV company will help her out. Or she'll call me, because I booked their entertainment last year. And she'll say, can you just help me out, please? So I would say, well, yes, but there is a chance, you know, it's my time, it's what I do. She says, also, I'll hide the cost. The event goes off as smooth as anything. And guess what happens? Next year, the boss says to the admin secretary or admin assistant, go ahead and you do it. You did a great job last year. And she said, well, you know, I actually used this company. You remember Richard from 5 years ago when he did that? Oh, really? Yeah, well, just use him. And the circle has gone around again. And why? Because of the service that we gave to them. Thank you, and I hope to hear from you soon.